was probably just a facade, as we're just witnessing right now. Do you think that by holding this referendum, he made a historic mistake?
I will not attack President Barzani in any way, shape or form. I will do nothing to try to reduce the impact of Kurdish unity. I'm sorry, Kurdish unity is absolutely paramount. I completely disregard baseless accusations. I refuse to wrestle in the mud like this. Kurds today need to be united more than ever. But we need to ask ourselves, how did we come here? The referendum was a question that needed to be asked, but the referendum was never the end goal. The end goal was the rights of the Kurdish people. And at the very last days, the United States, Brett McGurk, Frank Baker came with a proposal that would have protected us, a proposal that guaranteed us the rights to do a referendum in 2 years if we had tried to negotiate with Baghdad. Unfortunately, the Kurdish leaders, and I am not singling out Mr. Barzani, I'm sorry, I refuse to be dragged into this. The Kurdish leaders did not take this historic
This was a mistake.
Which
this
from
was
where I
the
was
mistake.
sitting was a change in policy. This was a colossal mistake. This was a colossal mistake. And even in the fighting in Kirkuk, there was an opportunity. Even then, as the forces were heading towards Kirkuk, Prime Minister Abadi, His Excellency, reached out to us, and we reached an honorable compromise. And if you wish, I can explain this compromise to you.
If you can't, briefly, more or less, what was the deal offered by the Iraqi Prime Minister?
I will. After a day of negotiation, we came up with the following proposal. We came up with a proposal that rather than Iraqi troops unilaterally return to K1 military base, that K1 military base would become a hub for the coalition against ISIS. It was to be full of the United States troops, of British troops, and other troops in the coalition, as well as conventional Iraqi troops. This single thing would have prevented the catastrophe that has befallen Kirkuk. This is the only deal I have supported. I have a document here signed by 38 out of 50 of the Patriotic Union of Kurdistan leadership supporting this proposal. It was an honorable compromise. Nobody would have lost. We would have kept Kirkuk, and this tragedy that has befallen the Kurdish people would not have taken place. But unfortunately, again, the leaders in Kurdistan were frankly unable to decide the correct course.
Sir, you're saying there was a better deal. What are the intentions of the Prime Minister? Obviously, he said that he wants to avoid clashes, although they're still happening. Do you think he wants really to grant autonomy and eventually independence, or as he has said, independence is over?
I'm sorry, I do not know what His Excellency